allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. Waymart Borough Council meeting, July 11, 2023. Can we have a roll call? Please, starting. Donnie?
Don McDonough, absent.
Yes.
Shane Bailey,
Present.
Darren Howell,
Yep.
Donald Miller,
Here.
Craig Spivak,
Yep.
Randy Thorpe, Jane Parko, Attorney Chris Farrell,
Gonna be late.
Michelle Dukowski here, Heather Hess here.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Preview of last month's minutes. Everyone get a chance to take a look at it.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Craig made a motion to accept the minutes. Darren seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Motion passes. Bill list.
I have no additions.
That's wonderful.
Was it resolved about the Canarsie bill?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they fixed it.
It's working now, the little walking guy? Good.
Well,
It's good to hear.
So, we had the bill on hold last
Mhm.
month, and it's proceed to pay that, $1,553.19.
So I'll make a motion to pay the bill that we held from last month. Can I have a motion? Rather?
I make a motion.
Craig made a motion.
second.
Donnie seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
What was that total? I'm sorry.
1,500.
$1,553.19.
No increase, yeah.
What's that?
There wasn't any increase.
Oh, good, they came back up, they didn't charge us another mold. That's good.
I'm sorry, who's that?
Thanks, Don. Donnie, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes to pay the bill to Harchick. Police report.
Now, is that a motion for, just to pay that bill for all the to accept the bill list,
That was just a motion to pass, to pay that bill, I'm sorry.
that particular bill? right?
Yes, thanks, Heather. We have a motion to pass to pay the bills.
I make a motion to pay the bill.
Sorry.
Donnie made a motion to second, to pay the bills. Craig seconded the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes to pay the bills. Thank you. Police report.
Police report for June 2023. Two disabled vehicles, one assist police agency, one hit and run, 2 welfare checks, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 3 public assist motorists, 4 suspicious persons, 2 suspicious vehicles, 1 written warnings issued, 5 traffic citations, 14 investigations. Total calls for the month, 57.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Zoning officer.
No, my report.
Oh, Mayor, I'm sorry.
I forget. I had a call from Belmont Cafe today concerning garbage between her building and the building next door. I called Anthony of NEIC and he responded. Now, what was happening, I don't know, but he was supposed to most likely come up and look at it and post it and give him so much time to get rid of it. This isn't the first time we're dealing with that.
Was the owner cited or the tenant?
That I can't answer. I don't need to get back, Anthony.
Because it's been the same owner for years and years.
Mhm.
So the Belmont Cafe called you with the
Yep.
complaint, okay.
I called in the IC, they referred me to Anthony, and Anthony handled it. He came up and I made him aware where it was. I received a call from the housing, Wayne County Housing Development, an update from their CEO, and he told me that they're shooting for a grant for October. It might not get it, but anyway, their plan is to put 30 apartments for veterans. God bless you.
Thank you.
And, they want to work with the borough, and they want, everything is gonna be done according to zoning and this and that. They're also going to remodel all their buildings that are there with new windows, new siding, new roofing, new sidewalks, and they're gonna pave the road. That's I think their 2-year plan. But anyway, he's very supportive in the borough with this thing. It keeps us up to date. The only other thing I have is Gail Manning was appointed by Canaan Township onto the Waymart Area Sewer Authority as a board member. She was at the meeting yesterday. It's a Canaan Township member. Waymart Area Authority has 2 Canaan Township members, and the others are from Waymart. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Zoning?
I just have here the NEIC bill that you see for, was it $298.95 was 2.5 hours worth of zoning, and that entailed, a pool permit, 33 Wayman Drive, Carbondale Road, Belmont Turnpike, and the other bill was for a building permit retainer for Mark and Elise Von Annen, 33 Wayman Drive.
Great.
Shelley, question on the building. Can you go back and look at the building that they gave us for 382 Belmont Street to see if you have anything, not now, but later? Because that 382, they put an addition on and remodeled the garage and made it bigger, this and that. I don't remember hearing about a building.
Was there a name?
No, I don't have
No,
it.
okay, I'll look.
And I understand that the check from Dr. Ray,
Yes, we got for Dr. Ray.
that was for
That was
a
in that
shed.
okay. When would that have been approximately? This year?
Oh, yeah, this year,
This year,
maybe 3
okay.
months ago.
All right, okay, I'll look.
Okay. Thanks, Shelby.
No problem.
Solicitor's report? We'll postpone that. Correspondence?
All right, I have a copy of the sewer authority minutes from May and June. If anybody is interested in seeing them, I have a copy here. I have a invitation from Holly for August 1st, 5 to 8 p.m., a night out, national night out. They've got a couple different activities included here for the night, and information for the parade events are attached here for those interested. I received a letter from Delaware Highlands Conservancy. As a supporter of our local community and conservation efforts that shape its future, I know you share our commitment to protect the rural character and natural heritage of the Upper Delaware River region. But the pressures of poorly planned development and rapidly changing climate threaten the essence of what makes our region so unique. The working farms, forests, wildlife, habitat, clean water, and scenic landscapes that we cherish are in danger of being lost forever. It is our shared responsibility to protect what we value most. They are asking for support. We sincerely appreciate the generous support you have provided in the past and hope you will choose to continue your support today with a gift of 100 or more. So I'm not sure if that's something that has been done in the past.
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
Circular file.
All right. We received a letter from Attorney McNada in response to the letter that was sent from the borough to the sewer authority. Dear Chris, thank you for your letter of June 27, 2023 with respect to the borough's council's request for the sewer authority to subdivide their land and give a portion to Waymart Borough for a storage facility to store winter road safety materials. The board of directors of the sewer authority discussed your request at their July 10, 2023 meeting and had the benefit of input from the professional consultants at NTech Engineering and my office. Following the discussion, the Board of Directors unanimously voted to reject the request by Borough Council. The Board of Directors of the authority wishes to be a good neighbor. However, the existing use of the borough of the property already exceeds the use contemplated originally in the 1977 lease agreement. Further, the authority maintains that land in the event that additional expansion of the authority is necessary. Since the authority was formed, the authority has had to expand both their service area and sewage treatment and collection system on 2 occasions to accommodate the federal prison and to accommodate further regulations from DEP and DRBC respectively. Further, there is an environmental concern regarding storage sheds for winter materials, which has caused significant water contamination in other local vicinities. The authority engineer has indicated that the main well servicing the borough of Waymart and Canaan Township is located directly across the street from the current municipal garage. Contamination is a viable concern, especially since there is potential future of expansion for both the prisons and the area surrounding the door. Finally, the board believes that it may be possible for the borough to obtain a site which would have a less direct impact on potential contamination of the water system. Based upon these factors, as well as the authority's concern regarding continued regulation and the need for further expansion of its treatment facilities, the board chose not to agree to the request at this time. As an aside, I am currently dealing with a sodium contamination of drinking wells in Covington Township, Lackawanna County, due to a PennDOT salt shed, and it's difficult, if not impossible, to have DEP approve any type of development in an area where drinking water wells or the aquifer has previously been contaminated by high sodium content. Thank you for your inquiry. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you, Heather.
Knew that was coming.
Comments, anybody? Moving on. Guests and citizens. Aaron?
Aaron Geary, I'm here on behalf of Josh Rainerson, Chief Rainerson, the fire department. I have the chief's report and 2 other issues that I'd like to speak with you guys about. First of all, the chief's report. For the month of June, smoke investigation 151 Belmont Turnpike, assist station 61 on a structure fire, automatic fire alarm 30 Gross Brothers Way, traffic control 480 Roosevelt Highway, automatic fire alarm 37 Woodlands Drive, tree down Roosevelt Highway, Sheep Barn Road, traffic control Roosevelt Highway, Belmont Street, automatic fire alarm 77 Staten Drive, tree down 134 Hetzel Road, medical call 512 Canaan Road, Chief 75 public service call, automatic fire alarm 37 Woodlands Drive, motor vehicle accident Roosevelt Highway, Carbondale Road, medical call 349 Belmont Street, automatic fire alarm assist Company 1, 1970 Eastern Turnpike, motor vehicle accident Roosevelt Highway and Tomorrow Road, automatic fire alarm at Iron Hill, working structure fire 613 South Street, and traffic control assist Company 43. That was our call volume for June.
Busy much?
Yeah. On from there also, we were looking in the future here of our floors are caving in the firehouse. We're going to have them report. We're looking to have our floors report on the thing. Would the borough have any objections if we put our tanker and utility for a 2 to 3 week span in the borough garage? Would we be able to use the borough garage and put just the tanker and the utility in for 2 to 3 weeks till the floors are done?
We don't have it scheduled yet.
We don't have it scheduled yet, but we're looking in advance, we're trying to set up.
Will they fit?
We'll have to check.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
checked
checked
with
that out.
Leroy Brown, we checked with, he measured them out and said they'll fit in there.
Good.
But we want to come to you guys because you guys are
Yeah, I was going.
the borough.
Yeah.
As far as the engine, we're looking for somewhere for the engine during them spans. If not, if we have to, the engine could be kept outside.
Okay.
So that ain't gonna fit in that ain't gonna fit in those buildings, so.
Yeah,
We just wanted to check with you guys if the borough had, if the council had a problem, if we be able to use, put them in there. It's 2 to 3 weeks is what we were given for the floors to be done, and it'll just be the tanker and the utility. If there was any objections to that by you guys.
I don't believe so. Anybody else has anything to say? Just stay in contact with Leroy.
Okay, all right, yep, we just wanted to go over with you
I
guys.
appreciate it.
And third of all, Captain Thompson and Dave, our training officers, Dave Everson, they just did last week there, Saturday, they brought in Lifeline. We brought Lifeline in for a mutual aid training. We landed the ball field. That's probably one of our most prominent sites of landing Lifeline helicopter in the area. When we set up a landing zone, what we were asked, and we're looking to ask for you guys, is if we could put 2 windsocks on the ball field. For Lifeline had asked us, we're to ask you guys of putting a windsock, at least one. They prefer 2 windsocks somewhere on the ball field, that when the helicopters, when they're landing Lifeline in there, they can just see the wind direction.
The ball field by the tennis court?
Yes, sir.
Everybody understand?
What we have now for landing, and what we have right now for landing a helicopter is a handheld wind speed, where you hold it up and giving you the little plastic directional. They were used in the years. The Life Flight has been modernizing a lot of stuff, and that's why they came in. They even brought the helicopter in and everything this way, just to keep everybody more efficient. They're not waiting on us to set up a landing zone. And the only thing that was not out of pocket, but was asked of everyone was about putting 2 windsocks on the ball field. When a helicopter comes in, they can see if the wind changes on their way down, they'd be able to see a wind shift.
I don't see why not. No.
How high a poles do you have to have and stuff?
That's what we're not quite sure on how high it has to be at the moment. We're just wondering right now if they would have to have poles. There's no doubt, because I believe they have to be on their own pole. If I believe so, they're supposed to be on their own. We have to check that.
They will
If you
be,
ever get the lights in there, I don't know.
Well, that might be you might be able to put it on top of the lights.
I mean, would that hurt you guys?
No, it don't. You know what?
I don't think so. Oh, no, because we need a,
that affects it. It's when they're coming in, they like to watch, they like to see the wind. We can tell them what we got on the meter. You know, we got a northwest wind at 6 miles an hour. As they're coming in, they see that flag flop. What we told them they have coming in, and then that flag changes directions. It basically makes it easier on them, and basically safer for them, just to be able to see a wind shift.
It'd be like probably somewhere around 50 feet up, if that would be alright.
We will check and find out exactly what it needs.
You know,
but it was,
that's a good thing. 50 feet, so 50-foot light towers. And how many lights you figure on a tower?
6. Oh, no, there's supposed to be 6 poles.
6 poles. So anywhere between 2 to 6 lights on a pole. 4 or 5. Okay, so
we're just looking.
that's a good idea. Thank you.
Right, yes,
We'll
that's-
talk to like
Yeah.
He's working on it right
Yes,
now.
he's getting it right. He's on the life flight right now, but it was just something that, once again, before we went down and stuck a windsock, or somebody stuck a windsock, it's your ball field. You guys, ultimately, once again, you guys are the borough, so before anything else, we just wanted to address it with you guys.
I think we should do 2 different motions, one for the maintenance and then one for the stock, just to make it official. That's what Chris always tells us to do. So if we could have a motion to allow the fire department to park their equipment in the maintenance shed and stay in constant
I'll make
contact
that motion.
with Leroy Brown. Darren made a motion. Can we get a second? Donnie seconded it. All in favor? Nays? Yes, he's got the permission to do that. Second motion is to allow the fire department to put windsocks on the ball field fence. Can we get a motion to?
it's gonna be behind the
Yeah.
fence.
No. Here's the situation. It would have to be on a pole
Okay.
because I believe there's a height. I think there's a
Yeah,
height.
we're checking on what the.
We're trying to figure. We're trying to
checking
get the
out
information
logistics,
exactly.
Okay.
Because this was kind of thrown on us right,
Sure.
in a short time.
I
And
make
the
a
wind-
motion to allow the windsocks to be erected by the Waymart Volunteer Fire Company to meet all specifications as required by law.
Thank you, Jane.
Well, I
Second.
have a question first.
Sure.
they will be off the field, right, outside the fence.
Right, but
Oh, yeah, you
no,
can't
they
be on
wouldn't,
the field.
they wouldn't strike the field.
Yeah,
No, they wouldn't obstruct the field anyways.
Pitcher's down. Don't- oh, yeah.
This came up as the helicopter was sitting in the ball field on the thing, and they were having everything the town has the landing zone.
No, no, listen, it's a good question.
Right.
There's no such thing as a bad question. So that's-
Absolutely, yeah.
And that was something, you know,
There's even
Exactly.
the tennis court fence.
Tennis
You
court.
mounted it on the fence.
That's what we were wondering, if we'd be able to put something up on there.
That's where they come in from, they come in from the south.
South.
Yeah,
As they do the
so maybe that's a
flyover.
better spot.
They go out to the east and do the flyover.
It doesn't
That's
have
sewer
to actually
authority.
be on the
ball field,
ball field, it just has to be near it.
Okay.
yes,
In the
not on the
vicinity-
ball
in the
field.
vicinity
Yes, that was
of the
where
ball.
that was where the bad, in the vicinity of the ball field of where it is,
That
and
makes sense.
they might even want one when they do their flyover, like Jordan said, they come in from the south, they fly over to Easterboro, you know, they're just,
On top of the concession stand.
Or that too.
That's really fun too.
Yeah.
It's
it's
fine
just so
by
you have
us.
it visible, it's just.
Yeah, you've got some options.
I haven't flown one or landed one, so I
Yeah.
don't know what they, but I mean, I can imagine that would
Well,
be.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have to make a motion. Jane made a motion. Seconded it by all in favor. Nays, ayes have it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other guests and citizens? Okay,
There was somebody ahead of me, wasn't there? I didn't want to jump ahead of somebody.
That would have been.
No, that was me.
Yeah, that was
He
okay.
covered everything. that-
Dave was our training officer, so
Okay.
I came to that training, and what came up at the training was just so he was joined, so we weren't out of pocket.
At the end of Myrtle, going out onto Carbondale Road,
Mhm.
the house on the left-hand side, how do you go about getting the tree trimmed? You have to almost get out into Carbondale Road to be able to see
Right,
up
right.
the hill. That woman's tree is blocking vision.
And also.
And by the dollar store.
I see what's-
When you go to come out the dollar
Dollar
store,
store,
Dollar store.
looking to the right at the dollar store is worth your life.
in both spots, you have to almost go out into the lane
The state,
to be able to see to get out.
The state just came through and did stuff on Route 6 because they did the end of Prospect Street.
yeah, that's right in there. Dollar store crap.
But I don't know if that's something that you could approach her to. It's a pine tree. It's like a Christmas tree. It needs to be trimmed so you can see getting out the street.
Okay. End of Myrtle and Carbondale Road.
Yep.
Okay.
Depends if it's in the right of way.
The house on the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your dollar store.
And Jeep.
One other thing, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but the front of the drugstore looks awesome. Has anybody else noticed?
Yes.
It's cleaned up. It looks great.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Don't hold your
Yeah,
breath, I
that looks
wanna
great.
know.
Jane, I got a name now. I'll be a bird dog now.
Thank you, Craig.
That's in the minutes. That's in the minutes.
Bird dog.
Bird, dog, is that 2 words or?
Oh, that's the teachers.
You know what? I might have some of that in my cupboard.
That's mad.
No, I think there's bird dog too.
Thank you, Teresa.
Welcome.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Any other guests and citizens? Okay, Jane, we're ready for you.
As you know, the budget has not been passed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we are living in la-la land about the funding for the Bob Wilson Field. We had to submit a progress report, which Joe made up the other day. And this is it. Representative Fritz is pursuing funding through the state budget process currently being negotiated in the State House. Pending the outcome of these negotiations, the project will have enough funding to proceed with a bid advertisement. Approval of the state budget is expected to happen before, he said July 31st, but of course it was June 31st. At that time, a decision can be made on how to move forward with the project. There are no issues at this time. The ongoing funding issue remains the challenge for the project. So, as I said, we're just waiting. And Jonathan Fritz has been very, very nice. He's called me almost every day, telling about the process it's gone through. It's been passed by the House. We're waiting for the Senate to approve it and get our governor to sign it. So, that's the status at this point. The American Rescue Funds is exactly what I reported last month, Heather. I left a copy there for you.
I got it.
By the way, I left a copy of the ambulance report too, if you read
For
it
last
after.
month? Oh, yes, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, and, so, we have the $35,000 committed to the field, and we also have the $50,000 committed to the park. And that's all depending on funding through grants and subsidies. The next thing is, in the newspaper, I don't know if you've seen it the last few days, but there's a grant writing program on Wednesday, July the 26th. Penn State Extension is offering a workshop on grant writing for nonprofit organizations and municipalities seeking funding and support for a project. It'll address how to work effectively with foundations, and we'll also have a panel presentation of representatives from local foundations and a state elected official representative from Rosemary's office, Senator Rosemary's office. The program will be held Wednesday, July the 26th from 9 to 4 at the Wayne County Extension Office. And the cost is $25 per person, which includes lunch. So I have registered for it, and I'm asking you to pay the $25, and I will donate the 7 hours to stay there to do this. You might say, with all the grants I've written, why would I want to go? Because there's constant rewriting and additions and adding them and changing slight words. And unless you keep up with it, you don't know what's going on. And the foundations are another, I have a couple I thought that the fire company should go after. Some of these foundation grants are very interesting, and they, in many ways, are not picked up because they, people know the state grants. They get the booklet on the state grants, but they aren't aware of foundation grants. So I'm asking you to pay my $25 to go.
I make a motion to send Jane the grant writing class, $25, cover her expenses.
Craig made a motion. Darren seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion passes to pay the $25 access fee or to
Right.
Jane.
The Canaan Township had gone along with the garage, grant. I was going to present it tonight, but Heather has read the letter that the authority has rejected it. So I will inform the Commonwealth we do not want the grant for $64,000. We were supposed to have a conditional use hearing tonight. I met yesterday with the planner of Wayne County, Craig Rickard and Debbie Vargo, and we went over the use, and in front of you I have given you each a copy. The reason I gave it to you is I'd like you to do this is the teacher in me, your homework between now and the next meeting, and read about conditional use. I think the mayor and I are the only two sitting here who have ever gone to a conditional use meeting before, or hearing before. And there are certain stipulations. This is taken directly from the zoning ordinance, and we do not have to pay for a lawyer. We do not have to pay for a stenographer. So, unless we want to, you are required to do that for zoning, but not for conditional use. So, I would like you to acquaint yourself with it. It's a page and a half to read about the stipulations. Craig Rickard said that it meets all the stipulations in the county code and in our comprehensive plan. So, he felt there was no problem at all. It's going to be a conditional use of the property at Mallard Meadows. But since I don't have the application, it was supposed to be here tonight, I expected Mike Wood to show up tonight with it. We'll have to put it off to next month, so that gives you a month to read about conditional use and hearings. And, now the most important thing that we have to do is we've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it for the last 9.5 months. It's worse than having a baby, as they say. I'm passing this out. And, this is from Tom Shepstone.
Thank you.
All right, Tom says, take a vote to adopt the tax fees resolution. It's effective immediately upon the vote. Now, those of you who have dealt before with ordinances know that our ordinance fees are obscenely low. And so this is, I would like you to quickly go and look at this, the zoning ordinance fees listed here at the top. Zoning permit application, $100, and I won't read it, the rest of you insult you. We always have the point, if, let's say, we feel that it's too much, we always have the authority to lower the fee if we want to. It's very important nowadays to follow what they're doing in other boroughs and other townships on fees. And on the back of the fee schedule are some different ones that that they want you to be resolved, and this is the motion that he is asking, and it starts be resolved. Would you all please read that first page? Floodplain management ordinance fees, street encroachment fees, and driveway permit ordinance fees. And nowadays, that's very important, especially going out into the roads and state roads. Street numbering and building ordinance fees, subdivision and land development ordinance fees. Are there any questions on any of these fees, or any questions about the fees itself and how it could be applied to a certain situation?
Are these the fees Tom is recommending?
Yes.
This is in line with other boroughs?
He did this. Yes, he did this. He sent this. And are there any questions? If not,
Street numbering, that's like 911 usually. You get the numbers from the houses.
yeah, but then we have to make sure that you, like for instance, right now, who was, remember we were talking in the back room there about a property that didn't have, an empty property that didn't have a street number on.
Like
So
a
we,
block, you mean?
like a vacant lot, and then they come along and they apply to us to build a house. It has to have a number, so we have to meet, the post office gives us a number. But the post office has to agree with the borough. Like I live at 211 South Street, and Kay lives next door to me, and she's 207 South Street. They just changed it to 207 because they made my railroad station 209,
Oh, really?
which nobody lives in. And my father had an insurance office there for 55 years, and it was always 209 South Street, but now it's 207.
Oh.
So we have to make sure that our numbers agree with the numbers of the post office. And there are some places where you do have to number the streets because they're not acceptable state roads or borough roads. Let's say, for example, Robbins Lane, or Birch Lane, or some of these others. We have to sign the numbers because they are not acceptable streets. So we have to name the street and so forth and so on. And like Wayman, somebody mentioned Wayman Drive tonight too. We didn't name it, we didn't, but we had to inform the post office, yes, that these are houses in the borough and then so forth. Subdivision and land development, of course, ordinance fees are very important. Are there any other questions?
So the street encroachment and driveway permit, if you're, say you do have an empty lot and you need to apply for a number, a lot number, and then you wanna build a house on that lot,
Yes,
do you then have to apply for a driveway permit for
Yes,
that
you do.
property, and then also your actual building permit, and then if you wanted a garage on there, you have to apply for an application accessory structure permit?
right, just like Dr. Ray just applied to put a shed on that he didn't have before. Yes, there's a fee for everything, this is the way of our world, unfortunately.
Well, we have a say in that, right?
Yeah, what does this bring us up from our original fees? Is it a substantial increase?
In some cases it is, in some cases, we never have charged a fee before.
Right.
That, it's, like, for instance, the floodplain management, that worries me the most of all of them, and you might say, why? But
A good chunk of our
I'm really concerned about these people coming along our streets here, you know, I'm putting all these little, you know, have you watched the surveyors the last month and a half? And I said to them, are you going to declare where you have all these things as a floodplain? If they do declare that, do you realize what those people that live in there are gonna have to pay?
I know, it happened to me when I had the house on Water Street, because they changed the floodplain.
And the flood.
I had to get flood insurance,
And that,
which covers absolutely
that
nothing.
worries me the most, but unfortunately, we don't have any control over that.
I know,
And
it's
that's
all
what I
federal.
said to the guys that's gonna replace the bridge on 296. I said to them, I'm very concerned about that, because I wanna know if it goes to half of my backyard, it doesn't go to my house, thank God. Because insurance of these people that live in the floodplain, it's terrible.
What was Tom's push for the vote tonight?
Because of the fact that we've done this for 9 months, don't you wanna finish
He
it?
wants to get it locked in.
Yeah,
I think this application fee for conditional use is $1,000 seems like a lot.
Yeah, and then you get all the paperwork, pay some $175 an hour to review it too.
We go over.
That's like a shed on a property.
well, we have a right to lower it, that's what we're saying here.
Those fees are fees that would come, the borough would be responsible for. If someone wanted to develop in a floodplain, we would have to hire an engineer or outsource it, and that $175 fee would be charged to the person that's applying for it. So, we wouldn't want the borough.
Like I said, that scares me the most of floodplain.
Yeah, it seems expensive, but it's probably not. But we can, like Jane said,
And
we do have say in it. We can
are we ever
slash
gonna
the fees
finish
if we
this?
like.
Is this on top of what NEIC charges?
No,
No.
Are you
this
sure?
is, no. Well, I don't know, what are you talking about?
Well, you've gotten bills for NEIC for zoning fees.
For zoning fees, yeah.
NEIC's hourly wage.
So we have a zoning permit application for $100, then you have to pay.
I think a lot.
Somebody to come out. So you have somebody to come out,
We can.
$175. But then does NEIC on top of that?
Right.
Well, we don't always need a professional consultant, we don't. That's only in the extreme cases that you have to have a professional consultant come in. It's not the everyday person that put the,
Aren't they professional consultants?
yeah. So they'd be the only one that would charge, but we wouldn't charge again.
But we've been forwarding all the zoning questions to NEIC,
Yes.
and they charge us for answering them or for doing
Oh,
something.
sure, they charge it, it's just like we talked to a lawyer on the phone.
Right.
How much, they charge us $75 to dial a lawyer.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's the way of the world. We can lower them.
Let's go throw them over, let's slash prices.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, Jane, get it down, let's go.
As far as I'm concerned,
Kmart.
I don't care if you don't charge them anything. But the problem is you have to have something in the ordinances that we can go back on that'll be acceptable by not just us, but by the county and by the rest of all these consultants and so forth. They're the ones that do this.
So what do you think, Craig?
I wanna slash prices.
Okay.
Okay, what's the
Let's
first?
start at the top, 175.
I think I'm gonna become
What's
a
your
consultant.
charge?
Make it 100? All right, what is it?
$60 for their zoning, $60 an hour. for
But
zoning.
it's gotta be a floodplain management.
Yeah, what do they get?
What?
Yeah, I'm the building permit.
All right, we agree on a number?
Sure, $100 an hour. We'll go right
Okay,
from
and
the
then
top.
change it to 100.
All right, $100 an
Well,
hour.
what if the consultant charges $200?
Right.
I know.
I
that's-
know.
I would rather us look into this a little more than, but I understand
Who's
Tom
gonna
wants
look into
to,
it?
I understand, I know, we need to,
Who's gonna look
we
at
need to get
it?
somebody to do it and figure out where the borough's not taking a hit and it's reasonable for the property owner, homeowner, residents of the borough, so.
I mean, $175 an hour, that's like lawyer prices. I mean, that's a little high. Let's go to the next one,
Okay.
plan application fee. What do you think?
But that's only for street encroachment and driveway permits.
Right. $100 for a driveway permit?
Sure.
Your driveway is very important because of the fact that you cannot drain out into the street, of which we have at least a half a dozen people that do it right now. Because they can hold this borough responsible, you realize.
Yeah,
The state can hold it, hey, this action was caused because you allowed the
Well,
water
if,
to run into the
Because,
street.
yeah, but
if
then
the
you put
homeowner
pictures
is, if the home is on Belmont Street, they would have to go to PennDOT, they wouldn't come to the borough. That would be.
No, I'm talking about the borough, we have 5 miles of roads.
Right. Mhm. Okay, Craig,
What?
50?
Sure.
All right. Just people helping people. 100 on the next one.
Yep, 175 down to 100.
Street numbering, leave that at 25. Land development application.
Land development application. I don't know, anything, 150?
Leave it, then nobody will develop.
What?
Not you.
Nobody will develop.
$200.
Land development, that would be like commercial or like.
Let's say you
apartments and
had
stuff like
a
that,
big
right?
amount of land,
This
like Stanley or something, and you wanted to put 10 houses in. Like the Salvation Army, up our street,
Okay.
up our street, across from Rob Grimm's and Wayne. Well, if all that was developed
I'd say.
into a housing
We'll
development,
leave it there, Jamie.
Okay.
Talk us into it.
forget it.
$25, we'll leave that, that's good. Minor subdivision application, $200 a lot, subdividing, you good for it. Next, mobile home, $35.
We don't have
Mobile homes
one.
allowed in
There's no mobile homes allowed.
Yeah, so-
Well, some of them are grandfathered in.
Well, some of them.
Yeah.
Yes, and you cannot discriminate against mobile homes, I hate to
No,
tell you.
because it isn't
We're
housing.
not.
So it's allowed in a certain zone, which you can read in the zoning law, which I'm not gonna bother to read right now to you, but I'm telling you, there's certain places that you can't turn it down. We've tried to talk people into getting a double wide, which is different, of course.
All right, hourly for professional consultants review.
What's the land development?
Repair report inspection.
Because that would be what you would pay if
Yeah,
NEIC
we-
comes in, because you've got to pay them and then pay NEIC.
Yeah.
So if they're
So if
charging
we had a
$60 an
conditional
hour.
use hearing, we'd have to hire a lawyer, I mean, if we had a zoning hearing, we'd have to hire a lawyer, we'd have to have a stenographer. You know how much those stenographers charge an hour? Holy moly, their court report.
All right, we're moving on, next page.
Okay.
Zoning permit applications. Initial inspection.
I think that should definitely stay the same, 100.
You know, $60 except for just inspect, right?
Right.
All right, leave that. Additional fee,
What's that for?
that's 75, although they charge 60, right?
Leave it.
Yeah, leave it.
Now make sure I have this done correct, leave it 75, which is.
Yeah, leave it
okay.
75 for the inspector, leave it 75 on
Okay,
500 square feet. Structure for $100 or $500.
500 squares.
foot. We wanna do that, leave it,
I would drop both of those 25 loads.
drop 25, 75 then.
75 for which?
Over 500 square feet,
Okay.
and then 50 for under.
I feel like Santa Claus. Just giving the money away.
Sign permit application, when
So it's 50 and then 75 on this
Yes.
Right.
paper, right? Okay.
sign permit application. is
Now, we
50
don't
bucks.
charge enough, we have a very strict rule in zoning ordinance. It can't be more than 40 square feet
Per sign?
for a sign. And I am all for this, because signs are the bane of towns, I can tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't want to push things.
yeah, I
Leave
agree.
it at
Leave
100.
Leave it,
No, everything we took off, add to that.
yeah, right.
To make them smaller.
I don't even know what it means by stop work order.
That's if we have to send NEIC out.
Okay,
So they're gonna charge us,
Or like a constable or something.
Right.
Right, so we would charge whoever we're stopping the work.
right, so we'll leave that.
the application fee for conditional use, he suggests $1,000, which I think is entirely too much.
Seems like it, right?
If we had to pay a stenographer, and if we had to pay a lawyer, I'd agree with it. But we don't for conditional uses.
And cut it in half.
I think it's plenty.
What about the variance?
The what?
Application fee for variance.
Yeah, I think you skipped that one.
You did. It's right under work order, stop work order.
Yes, because a variance can get you into really, 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 really big trouble. When somebody, let's say, for example, my oldness is speaking here now, that somebody comes along and wants to
Wisdom,
put an
Jim.
addition on their house, like we had one gentleman, get away fly, in Waymart do, and he wanted a variance to go up within 5 feet of the next door person. We have a 15-foot setback. So we have to be tough about our variances. We want Waymart to remain a rural community. You know, and just like that man that wanted to come in and build this 4-story building with no elevator, I almost ran him out of town. I said, we're not having a ghetto in the middle of Waymart, you know?
But that's the fee though, we can still deny it.
Yes, you can deny it.
Right.
And it looks like those fees do include the stenographer if you need one, or
Yeah,
advertising.
that's
costs.
what
Yeah, they do it, but you don't need it for conditional use.
Do we need it for variance though?
Only if it goes to the zoning board, and then the zoning board has to hire their own lawyer, and then we have to pay it. They can't use our lawyer.
Right.
Like under the conditional use, which these people are gonna seek for Mallard Meadows, or the county's gonna seek it for Mallard Meadows, that, our lawyer represents Waymart,
Right.
and their lawyer represents them. But unfortunately, in zoning, you cannot have your lawyer, because that's considered a conflict of interest. Because, let's say they deny it, and then it comes before the council, we can overturn what the zoning board says.
Correct.
So, you know, it's very complicated, believe me.
All right, what do you want to do with this variance fee, folks? $500. $250?
I say that's enough.
Sure.
$250.
Perfect. Next one down is 500, an application fee for curative amendment.
I don't even know what that means. Let's make it 500.
That the curative
Make
amendment
both of them 500?
has never happened in the 51 years I've been on council. And that's when we first adopted the zoning ordinance, by the way, I made them adopt it back in 50 years ago. And we have never had to have a curative amendment. I'm just telling you. So let's read all those to make, so I can read his motion correctly.
Okay, so the plan application fee is gonna be changed to 500, I mean, 50.
Which side of the car are you starting
Page
on?
one, page
Page
one and
one,
two.
okay.
The plan application fee gets changed to $50. The hourly rate for professional consultants is $100. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. The flood plan was down to 100.
Yes.
So we have 150, then back to 100 for the hourly rate. The other prices all stayed the same
On this side,
on
right?
this side. Then you have application, for accessory structure under 500, down to 50. Over 500, down to 75. And then 3 at the bottom there with the asterisks, application fee for variance, down to 250. Application fee for conditional use, down to 500. And application fee for curative amendment, down to 500. Is that correct?
And to hold that, stay the same, zoning permit and additional, is it the same, 175?
Yes.
All right, now this is the motion you suggest. This would be not on a resolution.
It would not be a resolution?
It will be a resolution. It will not be an, ordinance. It's a resolution. So it's resolution 2023-2.
-2.
Be it resolved, this 11th day of July 2023 as follows by the Borough of Waymart Borough Council. Pursuant to the authority of the Borough of Waymart Code, the fee schedule detailed below shall apply to administration of said code until amended by subsequent resolution of the Borough Council. The Borough Council also reserves the right to modify or waive fees in the case of hardship or for any other good cause set forth in a resolution pertaining to the same. I make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Second.
Jane made a motion. Greg seconded it. All in favor? Nays?
I have a question.
Motion passes.
This is on top of MC, whatever the name is. Included in this, right?
Well, no, because he took our ordinance today, and he went out to Dr. Array, and he's gonna put a shed. And he looked at our fee schedule, which lays in there, and he said to Dr. Array, write me a check for $40. He took that from what we had, and $40.
Our zoning officer went in here and,
Yes, our zoning officer, that's the
Okay.
first thing I gave him was a fee schedule and a copy of course, now the ordinances are laying right in here, anybody can read them, and they're all online. Remember, all the ordinances are online now.
yeah.
So anybody says, I want an ordinance on vegetation, or I want an ordinance on somebody, cleaning their sidewalk or whatever, all you have to do is look online, and it's all online now. Everything is online.
Before we move on, for the conditional use meeting, does that need to be advertised?
It does need to be advertised, but since they didn't get in here with it and ask me for,
That goes ahead. The time is wrong on that.
Okay.
I ask all of you who have a copy of this to destroy it until we have it retyped correctly.
Of the schedule?
Yes. I don't want them circulating around and then people say, well, that's what it was that night and that so forth and so on. So if you forgot to write one thing down or if you wrote the wrong thing down in the wrong place, I don't want that to come back to haunt us. So please either give them back to me or put them in the camera and put them in the basket.
So this is from the email that we received earlier, right before the meeting?
Yeah, it was in the feed.
Yep, okay.
But he has 6 o'clock on that.
Okay, so change it to 6:30.
Okay. I'm sure you almost had enough of me, so.
Never, Jane.
Oh, yeah. All right, The third thing he said to me, second thing, take a vote to advertise the council's intent to hold a hearing and adopt the new Borough of Waymart Code at your August 8th meeting. I will be there. So I need to have a motion with our intent to hold a hearing before our regular monthly meeting, which is,
So I guess the time.
It is 6, yeah, I was gonna say.
which is August the 8th. So I need a motion to advertise it with the intent of adopting the new Borough of Waymart Code.
When do you wanna have the meeting? First?
No,
No, right before the
6
meeting.
o'clock.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we don't have to advertise like 10 days before and all that nonsense?
well, it's what, we have a whole month.
Oh, we don't have to do 10 days before, yeah.
Yeah, well, it states, the paper, when you get the hold of the paper, she's done it for years, and she's a wonderful help. What's her name? Heather, I can't remember. And it has to be published either 2 or 3 times. And since she has a whole month, no problem. It's the problem comes when we only have 10 days to do it, you know? We have to make sure it gets in the paper.
I have a question here, it says, please publish above notice once, no later than August 26th.
Yeah, in other words, he wants at least one by August 26th,
Okay.
okay? But that's, no, what are you looking at?
Or has he got the date wrong?
Yeah, I wonder if that should be July 26th.
That's July 26th.
July 26th,
Please,
yes,
please publish above notice no later than July 26th.
yeah,
Yeah.
July 26th.
Okay.
And so I need a motion from somebody to hold a hearing at 6:30 at before the next regular meeting on August the 8th,
6
Okay,
o'clock.
so that's 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Right, okay.
I make a motion to hold start the next meeting at 6.
Second.
Donnie made a motion, Craig seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
All right, and then the third thing, he says, give the notice to the newspaper to publish and give them a copy of the code. Also leave a copy at the county law office, our library. You know where that is? How many people know where the county law library is?
Law library?
Yeah, it's on the 3rd floor of the courthouse. I will make additional copies if you wish. He's going to have to make additional copies, we only have 1 copy laying in there right now. So, we have to do that because in the notice it'll say that these are available for people to go in and look and read if they want to.
Okay. Hi, Chris.
He's exhausted me already.
So
So
you're gonna give a notice to the newspaper, they're gonna publish them, they're going to be given a copy of the code. That they do not have to publish the whole code, that would cost us thousands of dollars. And also leave a copy at the county law office. So we need to ask him for 2 copies to do that. Agreeable, everybody all right?
So, right, so, okay, so, just so I'm clear in my mind what I'm supposed to do, send this email, this paper here, with the correction of the date, July 26th.
Right,
You're going to get, it says, because the newspaper's going to have a copy of it. So.
I don't understand why we have to give them a copy of the code when they can go
It's right
on
online.
internet and do it. So I can ask him that tomorrow, but if we have to give him a hard copy, then all we can do is tell him to make a copy
Okay,
of it.
well, then you get back to me and let me know,
Okay,
because that does make sense to me, just say.
yeah.
Give him a link.
And
Here,
as I
person.
said, the county law library is on the 3rd floor of the courthouse, and I don't know who the librarian is there. Be sure to give the copy, or if you want me to do it, be sure to give a copy to the librarian there. So,
I don't think they have a library courthouse anymore.
well, who does it then?
When you walk in on the left, there's a computer by a desk, and that's the law library now.
Oh, do you think we could just send it that way? To the law library?
I don't think anybody checks the computer, Jane.
I know, but you know how those things are.
Well, it's, I mean, if you're not putting it here, that it's
Well,
online.
it says law office, doesn't it? Not law library.
No, it says law library. I mean, you just want to keep saying law library, law library.
It says law library in here.
Okay, so we'll get a clarification there from
Okay.
Tom? Okay.
So, since Mike Wood didn't show up, we're gonna wait till next month for the conditional use hearing, and we'll have to set either another date, or we'll have to, we can't have it before the meeting now because we already have scheduled something at 6:30. I mean, it's 5. So, we shall see what happens. Okay, you're probably happy to know. I'm very disappointed about the shed. I feel very badly about it, and I will inform the Commonwealth that we will bring the money back to them.
Can't we put it by the family building?
No. You cannot change what is in your
Oh,
grant.
yeah.
You cannot change it, so we'll have to turn the $64,000 back. They give me another year. They gave me an extension for another year. If you thought they might, the authority change their mind in the next year, I wouldn't say anything to the state. I know I have the map here. I know that it's been agreed on by, done by Mr. Harsh. And here is the map of it. And it would have been 1 acre. And it's over 250 feet to the Van Auken Creek, number 1. Number 2, the sewage treatment plant itself is between our garage and that. And the salt is a non-issue for this reason. The state puts it on all the roads, and every bridge here in Waymart, they put it on the bridge, and it goes right into the creek. And the 2 sheds, the one shed at Canaan and the shed at Clinton, both of them are closer to the bricks than our garage. So,
It's unfortunate, but we don't own the land.
yeah, we don't own the land, we have a 99-year lease on the building.
Give the money back, Jane, we're beating dead horse.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Thanks, Jane. Budget and Finance, Donald is absent.
So here, the tax runs coming in, and we're in decent shape. You can see Bill was there, the balance on the money market account, so we're in good shape. And, yeah, we've said 63 back though, right?
I'm gonna hold on to it a few months.
I'd hold off a little.
Why not,
Let it earn interest.
Thank you, Shelley. Streets and roads, I talked with Pocono Spray Patch today, they said end of August to be in. That's all I have. Craig?
We already beat the baseball field with that. Street light, we have a street light that needs to be repaired.
Where's
Does that?
Before the whole ball field, how long are we willing to wait to see what they're gonna do? They didn't give any kind of timeline, correct?
No, as I said, it passed the House, but
One
it
at
hasn't
Belmont,
passed the Senate, and the governor has not
on the
signed it.
Cocadrilli's left,
This is the longest
that area,
it's ever
and
been
there's one
that
on
they
Myrtle,
haven't
or
passed the budget.
Center Street.
Traffic light.
We'll know by next week whether we have it or not, and I'll inform you as soon as I know.
I'm sorry, street light.
Street light.
Mm-hmm.
Power pole number. Got this there?
Yeah.
64046. N as in Nancy, 52, 364.
364.
It's by Chris Barrow's parking lot on Belmont, just south of South Street, Belmont, west side. officer, do you have any recourse for falling down buildings on private property?
We have an
Last
ordinance.
one.
We do have an ordinance.
I believe there is enough to look at the ordinances.
It's passed?
We can do.
Oh,
That's what we're in the process of doing.
Next month, I'll bring it up next
It
month
doesn't
then.
matter, it's about one ordinance.
I think there's
Right now.
one, I think there's one.
Yes, it's existing right now.
Or anybody who enforces.
We had to enforce it a number of times in the past.
Right.
There was a place up there, Heather, where you live, we had to enforce it and have them take a house down there.
Do we have anyone to enforce it?
I know, that was my next question.
Well, that's why the new ones are going to have the enforcement listed at the bottom of each one,
To do what?
the new ordinances. That would not, I shouldn't say new, the revised ordinance.
Did anybody talk to Bob Bates about possibly being our code enforcement officer?
Who?
Bob Bates brought him up last month.
I don't think that Bates is.
Did you bring up last month, sir? I thought.
He's Canaan Township.
Yeah. Bob Bates came down for.
I think it'd be
Code
wonderful
enforcement.
if
We
you do it.
know. I'll track him down. I'll give him. How much you paying him?
$20 an hour?
All right, 25 it is then.
Okay. Hey, how did I say it went up?
Hey, I just slashed prices. We can go up.
Okay.
All right, I'll track him down. Garage doors, ambulance. They ever get back to us about those?
I have their estimates, but I don't have the money to pay them.
No, what about them paying half or whatever?
They never got back to me. Did they get back, what?
We were gonna, then we said we should check and see a grant.
Oh, we're gonna see how much money's left over. We'll know by next week, and we can solve all our problems next week.
I'm gonna hold you to that,
I
Jim.
had a price of 10 for the door.
Yeah, that's about it, yeah, right.
All right, chief, just in time. Did you guys look into, grants for safety vest or?
The ballistic vest?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're able to get half the price of the vest.
And half is better.
50%, that's what the federal grant will give us. The vests run for 4 of them with the covers, the soft plates, and the vest, the ballistic plates. They're $2,772.89 for 4.
Or for each?
Right, for 4 of them. Okay?
Is that, Chief, is that outside vests or under vests?
No, that's outside.
Good, outside. everybody's
Because that's what we
outside.
wear now. We wear outside. We
Yeah.
wear the outside cover now, so we just put it in. It makes it easier to wear. In other words, then the grant would cover $1,386.45. That's what it would cover, and the rest would be up to the borough.
I think we can apply to wounded warriors too and get some money.
And that, like I said, that covers it all, even with the soft plate, the trauma plate. It's all included. And I believe it's because of it being under contract, all of this. It's a government contract, PA contract. That's why the supplier can't. It's actually an officer store, but the corporation is a Public Safety Group, which is Whitmer. We bought them off of them in ours expired in 22 last year, December, so we bought them 5 years ago from them. Yep.
Do all the 4 people vow to stay with the borough for at least 2 years?
We have a form for that, which we've used, which then the mayor holds and I hold a copy. We already have that. They sign a form.
Oh, the vest goes with the person, like custom fit?
Yeah, it's custom fit. So in other words, if they leave within the 2 year or 3 year period, I think it said 3 years on it. If they leave within that time frame, they have to give the vest up. And then I don't know who else could wear it because it's custom fit, but
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just find another person.
I know what one organization does do with the old ones. If we donate them, they give them to departments that people start out that don't have any, but still they're expired. So what the liability part of it is, I don't know who would handle that.
Yeah.
Because I know the vest company won't once it expires, and if the bullet goes through, they're not gonna cover the liability on it, so.
Alright, so we gotta come up with 1,300 roughly?
Yeah, 1386, if you round it off, 1,400 for 4 of them.
Shelley, you got money?
That's good.
Shelley, what's it look like?
I think we're okay.
That's a very good price.
I wanna make a motion to purchase 4 bulletproof safety vests for the police department of covering the cost up to $1,400 for the department.
A question. Have you applied for the half yet?
The what?
Have you applied for the half
right.
yet?
Yeah, it's applied for
We'll
it.
get you the money, you need the bus.
I feel that we should wait until we know that they got the $1,400.
Now, the money will be directly placed in the borough account, checking account. Okay, like last time.
Okay.
So that's where it's going. So whoever has the checking account will see when it's deposited and what's deposited, okay? It
Okay.
doesn't come to us,
Okay.
all right? It'll go directly into the borough account.
Great, okay.
Fine.
But our DA didn't get back to us?
No. We have a meeting the 20th, but maybe he'll say something the 20th, but he didn't get back to me on it, no.
We asked him that.
Yeah,
Meeting
he-
we were at, if they had any money.
Money.
They have, they're able to give out some money in the county. But he didn't get back, he's gonna meet with them the 20th, he'll see.
Yeah, a meeting the 20th of July. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we'll put that on hold?
Well, how about,
Well, we say,
Because we won't be able to buy them until that, we won't be able to buy them until that money hits the bank account anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
contingent on.
So, and then we'll know for
Right.
sure that it's the full 50%.
So we could
When it
file
gets to
that
the
under unfinished business for next meeting.
If you wanna have a copy of it.
Oh, that'd be great.
but if the DA gets us money, I said I'm just $1,400, because that's the balance of
That's the balance of the grant.
the grant. So the DA gives them money,
Mhm.
it'll be less than 1,400, and they can purchase it, and we'll walk away with it.
You might get 1,400 from the DA.
Right.
Yeah, so let's just,
Yeah, that's-
wait and see.
Wonderful.
Well, it's up to
Just
1,400.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah, so we don't know if they come up with it through the detective's office,
Alright,
because they put in for a county grant
alright,
for them.
withdraw my motion.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks, Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
We could have said something too. We could have said it.
Alright, truck, July, baseball field, we don't know about, dates I'll take care of, doors we don't know about, I'm done.
Thanks, Craig. Don?
Yeah, a UGI thing was an email here, they're going to, in that 28 Rockwell Lane. And there's additional fees if needed by the borough, I don't know, Miss Donna usually took this and, I don't know.
What was it for?
What's going on, Paul?
You're connecting to YouTube.
You're connecting the house to UGI.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that'll go right in the bank. Yeah.
Mhm.
But there's a thing that has to be completed every 90 days. When the work was completed. So I don't know. Okay. We did go around the street signs that needed to be replaced and didn't need to be replaced. There's a couple stop signs that need to be replaced. And with the top road or street is where the rest intersect with.
What, I'm sorry.
The street signs,
Yeah,
I have which ones need to be replaced and
how about the bridge signs, like the 5 ton? And is 5 ton, how do we know that's the right amount?
We lowered it actually, way back when.
Yeah,
Last time I was on council, we lowered it. That bridge really needs, both of those bridges really need
I
to
know. I think we should ask the county to inspect those 2 bridges.
I look at a lot of your signs, Donnie, and it shows a lot of private road signs.
I was told by the road also.
I have a catalog for you at the end of the email, I'll give you to look through.
And there's 2 signs on Sheep Farm Road that can probably just be taken down, stop signs.
Well, that's passed out of Waymart anyway, that's in the township.
You are doing private roads?
You have to.
You have to,
Okay.
You would have to contact the
Gravity,
homeowners.
Gravity Road.
yeah,
You have Gravity Plains Road, you have to add Gravity Road.
Gravity Road. But then there is
It's
a,
above Myrtle on the right.
okay.
Yeah, isn't it funny how the one sign lost its color completely?
Yeah, on one side, yes,
Isn't
up and
that
down.
strange?
Yeah.
Ah,
Must be the weather hits.
Now, there is a Bailey Road up here on one street that is held up by a stick.
It's a very sturdy stick.
Very interesting.
You judging, you judging.
Yeah.
Is that included in a private? Private road?
I believe it's referred to as a mountain as well, that seems a little.
Mountain is iffy.
It's focused.
It could be a
It's not going anywhere.
Slope, I guess.
Prospect Street's not even labeled on Route 6 either,
it should be, it used to be.
so that means.
Well,
It's just a green sign,
I happen to know that when they did some of the streets, that some of the signs disappeared for kids and they're in their garages. Where is Fairview Road and Sheep Farm Road we know is outside the borough? But Fairview and Beamer Drive, where are they?
That's up,
I have no clue. It's up,
I think it's off of Carbondale Road.
It's up Carbondale Road, but
Beamer Drive, would that be Mike Beams?
That's Beamer.
Yes.
On down.
Oh, okay, that one's in the borough, but where's Fairview?
It's up, it might be.
that one's out of the borough, I believe.
I think that's-
That's another closed off road.
Yeah, I think that, you're right, it's out of the borough.
Johnny, you did a great job.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
A lot of work for going on the road. Thanks for doing.
How many miles did you put on? You walk it all?
I walked it all, baby.
Who's Gross, who's Gross Brothers Way?
I'm assuming that is the,
That's back across Hayes Market.
yes. There isn't any sign there, but we didn't put one down either.
Is it a street?
To the plant,
That's the road that goes to Bernie Bruce.
yeah,
That's the F.
Yeah.
or whatever's back there
I
now.
heard the radio.
God rest his soul. Classy drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have where no sign leaves.
Jenkins Drive.
Yeah, the Naples Drive isn't on here.
No, it is.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, no sign
that's,
leaves.
that's out the borough too, I think.
No, it
Oh,
isn't
is
the
it?
borough.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No,
That's only across Route 6.
I just heard it on the radio. You hired to start it.
Rocky's still wrong, it's ours.
Okay, we don't have to make a motion for this, right? This is
No,
just-
because it,
Right, you did the,
that hasn't opened up yet either.
right, okay.
We don't know about the gambling money yet either.
Yeah. I know. Is that it, Tommy?
that's right.
Thank you, sir. Karen?
Nothing. You're welcome.
Thank you, Karen. Purchasing and building, Randy's absent. Any unfinished business?
We do need to purchase some things, so. What was it we just said?
No, we didn't.
No, we found
Found
that.
it.
Oh, yeah, okay, and, but a stapler and a few other things we need to have purchased. but I'll see.
Well, I think if we put that listing, like if we talked about that, we
Yeah.
should maybe do, and we go back to the office and do that.
Okay, sounds good.
I've got a request from the police department. Is it possible that the police department could get a Visa type account to be able to charge the department purchases? Is that possible? If not,
I think I tried that one other time, it was declined.
okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
$300, right? On discretion?
Without discussion, right?
Yeah, on discussion, all right. And they'll just what, get, just reimburse chief, right? That's what we did, right? We're doing, okay.
Very big one.
No, we already did new business.
Make a
Oh,
motion.
wait, new business.
We already did it.
Did it already.
I won you guys to hire Heather and I to do all the filing back there. There has to be at least 3 or 4 hours of filing.
What's your hourly rate, ladies?
I'm just funny.
Yeah.
No, we talked about it, no, we talked about it, but
Huh?
what is it? I don't know what the hour, I have no idea what you even said.
$20 an hour.
I'm gonna ask Kathy Water.
$25.
Give me a gift certificate to the
Sure.
Waymart.
Waymart Hotel.
360 ounces of ice cold pilsner.
Is that 25 each or 25 to split?
We have a motion to hire Jane and Heather for $25 an hour to file.
Each. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Nays?
I have old business too, did we do that?
No, not yet, Jane, we saved that for you.
I wanna know, when are we gonna get the 2 buildings painted?
Well, I wanna know when we're gonna get field lights.
And I wanna know what happened to the pressure wash. Is that done?
The pressure wash was done,
I was gonna say, I thought,
yeah.
fuck you guys.
Our president was working on that.
We
Yeah,
have,
he was.
you realize we have the paint.
Okay, I'll contact
Who
them.
is the liaisons with,
Donnie. Mr. President McDonough.
okay, so would you,
Absentee McDonough.
would you do that?
I'll reach out to him.
If you reach out to your mother, right?
I think that's who he was talking to.
Yeah, well, if, is Barbie gonna do it again, or
I
aren't they
believe so.
gonna do it? If
They
not,
said
we're
they-
Last I
gonna.
heard, he had him on the hook.
Okay,
I'll reach out to him.
they said they
Report
do
back to
it,
you.
but we got the paint, and it's right in here.
That it? Everybody done?
Make a motion there.
You get a second?
Steve Rack, second.
A motion?
Second.
Oh, Craig seconded it. All in favor? Nays?
751.
Yeah, I- so,
Meeting's over.